Well, good morning. Welcome to week 7 of W131. This is going to be your most complex week to date. The essay that you're writing this week, the 3-page essay that you're writing, is much different than your memoir. Okay, so you've got a lot to think about, a lot to bring together this week, and you need to start early. One of the places to start, okay, would be go to item 6.1 in the Unit 2 Learning module and click there. And that's the actual assignment link, all right? That's where you're actually going to attach your essay. And if you look there right now, you'll see a PDF file. That PDF file gives you the criteria for this unit, all right? It's for this essay. It completely spells out exactly what I'm expecting, okay? So what I'm expecting is 3 full pages, double-spaced. I give you the example there on page 468 of your textbook, what it's supposed to look like. So make sure you look at that document so you really know what I'm expecting. Then another thing you should look at is the rubric. Go to your syllabus or go to the welcome folder and click on the rubric and make sure you go over that. And it's pretty clear. I'm looking for, I'm not looking for citing this time still. I do give you an example in the item 6.1 that I told you about, the PDF file there, of how you can refer to your research. So I'm not looking for a works cited list. If you want to impress me, go ahead and do one, but you don't need to. I won't assess you on that. Once again, I'm looking for formatting. This essay needs to be correctly formatted. I'm looking for good surface features. No run-on sentences this time, okay? Make sure you do your quotes well. You will be quoting in this essay. That needs to be done well. Make sure your tone is good. No clutter, no repetition. Make sure you have a good introduction and thesis statement. We talked about this. You need to go through this unit carefully. I spent a lot of time with the thesis statement this time. I'll be carefully checking those for you. Make sure your conclusion matches your introduction. Keep your paragraphs focused with clear topic sentences. Notice that's worth a lot of points. Paragraph development, that means you have a lot of detail, a lot of examples, a lot of direct references to the text, a lot of quotes from the research in there. But still keep your paragraphs focused. Don't let them go on and on and on. Organization is pretty straightforward. Organization is logical. Don't worry too much about it. Just make sure you don't double back on yourself or repeat yourself. Good transitions help you with organization. Page length, nothing less than 3 pages. Seriously, all right? And then critical thinking, did you engage the theory? Did you engage the research? Is the essay just more than your personal opinion? Is it an informed opinion based on the history, based on the research, based on your understanding of the theory? So that said, one of the things you could do to start this essay is you could do some bubbles, some clustering, some brainstorming of your own. And what I have here is I have 3 big bubbles, all right? And one of the bubbles says short story, and underneath that it says characters and history. So what did you think about the characters? What did you think about the history of the South? That's one bubble, one set of content for your essay. Now, it doesn't all get globbed in there, okay? Your challenge is to combine these 3 bubbles, all right? Second bubble is the theory, okay? Go back to the discussions from last week. Understand what your classmates have said about these theoretical issues in vis-a-vis the short story. That's called brainstorming. That's why we do these discussions. They build critical thinking through brainstorming. All right, so understand what your fellow students have said about the Marxist connotations in the essay. Understand what they've said about the feminist connotations. Now, all of you don't quite have this 100%, in your head yet. I understand that. This is new to you. So, kind of pick and choose, judge carefully, okay? And then you've got the research. The research is very important because all informed opinions need to have some expert testimony in it. It's not just what you heard or what your friends told you or what Rush Limbaugh said or something like that, okay? That in expert testimony, that means people who've actually studied these issues, historians or professional English people who spend a lot of time looking at this stuff, okay? And it's not that they're always right, and we're not talking about hidden meaning. We're talking about bringing these 3 concepts together, and then you write the essay. That's your challenge, is bring these 3 concepts together. That's the essay right there, okay? So I'm expecting to see some research. I'm expecting to see your understanding of theory. Now, what I often find is students keep wanting to refer directly to the theory itself, like according to Marxism, according to feminism. There is no such thing. Theory just sort of informs you. It gives you a context. You don't need to refer directly to it. It kind of helps you with your critical thinking. It builds a framework around with which you see something. Okay, these same theories, as they apply to literature, apply to your whole life. Seriously, okay. You look around and you say, oh, okay, but you have to understand them well. You can't just go on what Fox News or Rush Limbaugh says about feminazis. All right, that's not the case. All right, it's much more complex than that. So you have to really look at these issues and say, okay, how do they mean relationship to the short story? If you don't want to buy into it, fine. Into the rest of society, that's up to you. But do look at theory in terms of how it relates to the short story. Make sure you understand the history. Make sure you've looked at my history of the South very carefully. All right, and make sure you've read what your peers have said about the theory as it relates to the short story. It's going to inform your own decision making, and it's going to make writing this essay much easier than it sounds. Look at the brainstorming that your fellow students have done. If this were a face-to-face class, we'd do this all together, all 22 of us together in a class, and we'd, come up with all these ideas, and then you'd go home and write your essay based on these fresh ideas you got from class. So that's the purpose of the discussion. Okay, so do some pre-writing, make some bubbles, draw some lines. Okay, my lines here, I have theory, Marxism, feminism, and then the lines relate directly to the characters. And then I have history, and they relate back to the Marxism and feminism, because history displays how Marxism and feminism works. Marxism and feminism formulates your thinking about history. Okay, and then over here I have research with the expert testimony, and I bounce that off the characters in the history and bring it back to the theory. You've got to find in the research, let's see if you can see this. You can find in the research people who talk about these issues. Okay, they talk about the short story, they talk about these issues. All right, so your job is to bring all three of these things together into, let's see if I can get a coherent essay. That's your opinion, but it's always your informed opinion. That's what we're teaching you in college, is not just to have opinions. We don't care about your opinions. We care about how you arrived at that opinion. That's called an informed opinion. Okay. I think that's pretty much my notes. I'm expecting a lot of use of the text. That means to build out your paragraphs, I want you to refer specifically to what Faulkner said, specifically to what one of the characters said. Okay. Draw the text into your essay. That's when I say to you that your paragraphs aren't well developed because you didn't illustrate or use examples. In this case, you use examples directly from the text. So I'm looking to see how good a job you can do of quoting the text, and then I'm also looking to see how good a job you can do of quoting some of your research. Quote some of these expert testimony people. The quoting adds to the paragraph development, it adds to page length, it builds out your essay. Now, don't write your essay from the quotes. Don't let the quotes do your writing for you. That's always wrong. Excuse me, you'll always get counted off for that. The quoting only gives examples of what you're thinking. Quoting only gives examples of something that you've already said. The quoting supports something you've said. It doesn't write it for you. It doesn't say it for you. You have to have your thought, your point. That's the topic sentence. Then everything else in the paragraph is the support, the illustration, the context. Okay. So within the body of the paragraph, you can refer directly to what Faulkner said. You can refer directly to what one of your expert testimony people said. But you start off the paragraph in your own language. You state what you want to say. You state what your observation is. This essay is built on a series of observations. If it's 3 pages long, 3 paragraphs per page, right? 9 paragraphs, one's introduction, one's conclusion. You need about 7 specific observations that you want to make. You can make an outline for this if you wanted. You can make 7 bubbles. Okay, here's 7 things that I want to say. 7 things I thought of while I've read the essay. Now, does my research support any of these things? Where can I find text from Faulkner to support these things? And that's what builds out each of those 7 paragraphs. Okay, so if you have questions throughout the week, please go ahead and email me. But get down and dirty. We have peer review, and I'm still having trouble. Students only want to post their essay one time. You need to submit your essay twice. I cannot grade your essay in the discussion forum. I cannot do that. I cannot grade you publicly. I have to grade you privately. All right, that's university policy, all university policies. All right, so you must submit your essay twice. Once to the discussion, and just because you do, that doesn't mean I have it yet. I don't get it until you submit it to the assignment link. Item 6, okay, item 6. I said 6.1. It might be 6.2. Anyway, you'll find it there. I'll look for it here. Let me find that real quickly. Item 6.1 is getting started, okay? Item 6.2 is the actual assignment link. I'm sorry I wrote that down wrong. So it's 6.2 that you want to go to get that PDF file that I talked about. You need to have that, all right? And item 6.2 is where you're going to submit the essay. Then you're also going to submit it to item 6.3 for the literature analysis. Okay, so go to 6.2, get the PDF file out of there. That'll be really helpful. That'll give you the exact criteria. Submit your essay there. Then also submit it to 6.3 for peer review. Okay, thank you.